Hi everyone, I'm Whitney from Sugar and Sparrow, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy, eye-catching pumpkin pie layer cake using supplies I purchased from my local Joann store, and some delicious pumpkin pie inspired recipes for each layer. One of my absolute favorite things about this pumpkin pie layer cake is that it's so easy to assemble. It's a beautiful addition to your Thanksgiving spread, and you can make all of the elements ahead of time so you don't have to stress about whipping up a dessert the day of. These pretty layers are the star of the show, so you don't even have to worry about knowing any decorating skills to make it stunning. First, you'll need to make sure you have the right tools for the job. I ordered a 6-inch Springform Cake Pan, an icing spatula, piping bags, cake boards, the perfect piping tip for decorations on top, and this one is Wilton Tip 8B, acetate sheets, and Scotch tape, all from Joann's store. If you don't live near a local Joann's, all of these items are available in their online shop and linked in the video description below. Next, you'll need to make all the recipes for the layers of this pumpkin pie cake, all of which are linked in the video description below. It starts with 3 6-inch layers of my pumpkin cake recipe, and I'm torting each of these layers to make them perfectly level. For more on how to tort cake layers, I'll link my blog post on the topic below. Next, I whipped up a pumpkin cream filling, brown sugar buttercream, and crumbled pie crust pieces. I also made a vanilla milk soak for keeping the cake layers moist by mixing together 1/3 cup of whole milk and a teaspoon of vanilla. Like I mentioned before, each of these recipes are linked in the video description below and corresponding blog post at sugarandsparrow.com. The first step to assembling this pumpkin pie layer cake is to prepare some acetate sheets. I purchased these 12 by 12 inch sheets from Joann, and I'm folding one of them in half and using an X-Acto knife to trim them into 2 6-inch pieces. Then I fit both of these acetate pieces into my 6-inch Springform pan to line the sides. Next, place a 6-inch cake circle into the bottom of the acetate lined pan so you have a sturdy foundation for the cake once it's built. I like to tape the acetate sheets together on the outside so they stay perfectly even throughout the assembly process. Place the first layer of pumpkin cake into the bottom of the pan and brush it with a little vanilla milk soak. Add a layer of brown sugar buttercream and smooth it down evenly with an angled spatula. I quickly learned that during this part it would have been much easier to pipe the fillings into the cake pan. So from here on out, you'll notice that I'm piping the fillings instead of spooning them in. Either way, you don't have to worry about getting each filling perfectly smooth, but you do want them to be as level as possible. Generously sprinkle the pie crust pieces onto the brown sugar buttercream and flatten them down with your hand. These will end up getting just the right amount of soggy versus crunchy as they sit between the layers, just like the bottom of a pie crust would be when filled with a pie filling. Pipe the pumpkin cream filling on top of the pie crust layer and smooth it down with your icing spatula. Again, don't worry about making it super smooth. The next cake layer will smush it down quite evenly. Add the second layer of pumpkin cake on top of the fillings and press it down until it's nice and level. Then repeat the process of adding the vanilla milk soak, brown sugar buttercream, pie crust pieces, and pumpkin cream filling. When you get to that final pumpkin cake layer, turn it upside down so that the bottom is on top before adding it on top of the fillings. Again, press it down until it's nice and level. On top of that final cake layer, I added another layer of brown sugar buttercream and a layer of pumpkin cream filling. You can certainly add more pie crust pieces in between, but I just wanted this layer to be nice and thin. To make the top look decorative, I used an icing spatula to create a swirl on top of the pumpkin cream filling. I placed the cake on a turntable for this part because it's easier to create a perfect swirl that way. Then I placed the entire cake in the refrigerator to let everything set up. Since the acetate is covering the sides and the pumpkin cream filling is covering the top cake layer, there's no need to worry about the cake becoming dry. You can refrigerate the cake this way for up to 2 days. An hour or two before you're ready to serve the cake, remove it from the refrigerator and remove it from the springform pan. Then, carefully peel away the acetate to reveal your beautiful layers. To top off this cake, I made a batch of my marshmallow meringue frosting and prepared a piping bag with Wilton Tip 8B. I piped stars all around the edges of the cake. Once all the stars were piped, I used my kitchen torch to toast the meringue. Torching the meringue is quite possibly my favorite part. Just look at how beautiful this cake turned out. The best part is you can make each of these elements ahead of time, aside from the meringue, which should be made right before you pipe it. This way, you can prep the dessert days ahead and have plenty of time for all the other recipes on your Thanksgiving menu to-do list. Joann had all the supplies I needed to make this pumpkin pie layer cake, and they have a huge selection of other baking tools for helping you whip up pretty desserts. Not only that, you'll also find beautiful decor for your Thanksgiving table, pretty floral arrangements, candles, dishwares, tablecloths, and basically any supply you could need to DIY whatever you're imagining. And there you have it, a beautiful pumpkin pie layer cake inspired by the classic pumpkin pie, but made even more delicious and unique for your Thanksgiving dessert table. If you're into cake decorating tutorials, recipes, and ideas for your cake making, be sure to head to my blog at sugarandsparrow.com. You'll even find an entire section on cake basics to help you learn the fundamentals if you're just starting out. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for watching.